I'm Cate Sampson, and my book is called Carnaby. And the central character is Sarah Carnaby. The whole story is told through her eyes. It's in the first person. Sarah lives in South London in a tower block that's due to be demolished with her mother, Diane, and her sister, Jude, and Jude's little girl, Em. They're one of the very few families who live there because everybody else is being moved out to alternative accommodation. And then one day, Sarah comes home from school and she finds her mother has been murdered in their flat. Within days, her sister's boyfriend Boris is arrested for the murder, and he's going to go on trial. When the main section of the book opens, it's just 2 weeks to go before the trial for murder. And Sarah is going to be one of the central witnesses. So she has this tremendously difficult time in her life coming up. And on top of that, her sister is going to have another baby. And she's rather frantic. She's no longer got a mother. She's trying to look after her sister and her sister's little girl and deal with this trial that's coming up. And as she approaches the trial, she realises that she's beginning to learn an awful lot of things about the family and about the community she lives in, which are telling her new things about how her mother died. And that's a very scary thing for her, and she's having to face a lot of things that she has tried to not face or tried to put aside or turn a blind eye to. So I started writing the book because the librarian at my children's school asked me to take part in a writing project called Write Path, in which the children take the beginning of a story and then they add to it, passing it from year group to year group, adding on a few paragraphs here and there. And the librarian told me that the story should have dragons in it. And then I said yes, I would do it. And I promptly forgot about it until the very last minute. And I sat down with a blank screen and a blank head. And I forgot all about the dragons. And I just started to write. And I just had 20 minutes quickly to dash off a few paragraphs. And so at the end of those 20 minutes, I had a girl called Sarah Carnaby, who was 13 or 14 years old, and who lived in South London. And she was a strong enough character that I wanted to carry on and tell my own story about her. So the story I wrote is now Carnaby, and the story that the children wrote at school has dragons in and is something completely different. So the story is a very gritty story. It's for older teenagers, about 15 and above. But all the decisions and all the things that Sarah does in the book are really because she loves her sister, and that love is at the centre of the book. And I hope it's a hopeful story as well as a difficult story. And Sarah is very feisty. She makes some bad decisions as well as some good decisions and gets herself into all sorts of scrapes, both during the trial and after the trial. But I hope that readers come away having followed Sarah through thick and thin with a sense of the love that the two sisters have for each other as well as the very difficult lives they lead.